Today we want to introduce Hunterworks' brand new clutch alignment tool. I want to say first and foremost, this is not going to replace the SDI alignment tool that we presently sell. This would not be a replacement for it, but this would be a tool that if you didn't want to buy that $239 tool that could come extremely close and extremely as accurate as it does with just a shade more work, then we want to offer this. All right, so the first thing you need to know is if you go out there on eBay, Amazon, Google, whatever, and look for these tools, they're called alignment tools, but what they really are is they end up being a shaft spacing tool. The spacing between these two shafts is supposed to be 10.5 inches. So if you had a flat bar with two holes, sure, you could tell if it was right or not, but if you loosened the two bolts that are behind this cover and the four on the other side, and you had the engine where it could move around in the transmission, what would a flat plate do you? Well, it wouldn't. Okay, so before we made ours, I said, well, let me see if I can find one that I can sell as a dealer. I'm not going to tell you whose this one is. I've marked it off. Hopefully you can't read it. But first and foremost, what you're going to see is the thickness. This is a little less than a half. This is a little less than 3/4, using 3/4 inch material. Inside the taper that goes on the shaft, let me turn it where you can see it. See a little line right there in the middle? Only about half of that has been tapered. And then inside ours, the whole hole has been tapered, okay? So that give you an example of something, and I'll just put this tapered one, on the taper end on this one, and you see how much movement, and I'm pressing on it, how much movement. And you can put hours on here, it don't move. All right, so that's one piece. Now the thickness part, when you slide it over this transmission shaft, all right, once again, you can look back over here, look how much we can move it because the hole is not tight enough. And then we get ours on and we have essentially no movement. Actually, this is a sample. We're tightening that hole up 1/1000th more. All right, so it'll even be less than it is now. Okay, all right. So anytime that you're having some clutch troubles, you're burning belts, we notice a lot of people, and if the camera could get up in here, you can see that the exhaust duct of my clutch has been ate up. When this machine was less than 300 miles on it, I chewed this up on a big jump. And I checked shaft spacing, and I found out I was about a 16th off. Now, let me say this, with any tool on shaft spacing, since this is 10.5 inches, this is what would be called a go or no-go gauge. What that means is, if it fits on, well then your spacing and alignment is correct. You don't have to do nothing. If it will not fit on, like I'm sliding it over the transmission shaft, getting it on this part, and I'm gonna move it down and go, hey, it won't go. I can look up in that hole and see that I'm a 16th off or whatever, and this tool won't go on there. Well, that's when you know you have a shaft spacing issue. So would you really want to buy a $239 tool to check it? No. If you had to fix it, does the SDI alignment tool do it well? Absolutely. But what we've done here is just giving you an alternate method, and I won't say the price because prices change over time, and no gosh knows how long these videos will be out in the world. So I guess we'll say starting price on them today will be $64. Okay, so obviously this is 2019. If this video has been watched 5 years from now, cost of stuff goes up. So anyway, we wanted a cost-effective alternative to the SDI alignment tool. Okay, so basically, like I said, if he's first starting out, it's a go or no go gauge. Well, mine is actually perfect. Okay, so everything is good to go or not. But now let's say it doesn't go on. We'll actually have a how to use the tool at a later date. I just had back surgery, so I can't be in here prying around doing a whole lot. We'll we'll make a video using it a little later. You actually can use the SDI alignment tool video that I'll tag at the end of this one for the process, but you're going to be using our tool. So once those 6 bolts, the 2 behind this cover and 4 are loose, you would maneuver this around till this bar got on. Now I'm going to tell you this is a dead blow hammer. You're not going to sit here and pound this joker on here, all right, because if you did, you would surely have trouble getting the tapered portion off. You could just about use your hand, but you need to make sure that, all right, make sure that you get it on there good and square. All right, now then, you see that? I can't move it. It's good and tight. So if you was to manipulate that engine and transmission around and get this on there that tight, then that'll hold everything in place and allow you to lock down those bolts. Of course, this cover would be off when you was doing it and lock everything down. Now you sit there and go, yeah, how you gonna get it off? Well, you can sit here and try to wiggle, and sometimes I've not been able to get it off, but it's real easy to just get up behind it, pop it a little bit, and it'll start wiggling off. Real easy, okay? All right, so that is the Hunterworks new alignment tool that is thick enough to keep this shaft straight in here, because if you got it too thin, then the shaft can move around. If you don't have the taper deep enough through it, then it can't lock on like it's supposed to and keep everything straight. Fitment, what does this single tool work on? Presently, anything 16 and newer, non-turbo, and I'm talking about RZRs here. It fits actually no Rangers that I can think of, none. All RZRs, 16 and newer. That's going to be 16 and newer 900 RZRs, 16 and newer Generals, 16 and newer 1000Ss, 16 and newer XP 1000s until, and again, never know when these videos are being made, when Polaris is going to change those secondaries. So this is all the way up to 20 models. All right, so they can be used, and obviously on our website in the description on it we'll tell what years if things change, so you can always look in there. We do not have plans to make them for any older vehicles or any Rangers or anything like that at this time. So presently this will be the only one that we have, but I just wanted to introduce it. To my knowledge, there's not another one out there that is as good as this one for the level of tool that we're trying to make. Like I said, is this one come extremely close, and I really did just want to buy these as a dealer and sell them and not go the trouble of making them. I'm probably running on and on and on. But as you know, anytime Hunterworks does anything, we're going to make it the best that we can possibly make it, and nothing out there be better. So far as the style of alignment tools, true alignment tools, there's a simple bar type that go on this side. You won't find anything any better, any cost effective than this is. And again, I will say, this is just a substitute for the SDI. If you want it truly locked in, $239 ain't no big thing for you, then absolutely get the SDI alignment tool. It is subject to availability at times, and hopefully these will always be available. Like I said, we're making them 100 at a time, and we should have them. So that's our new tool. Appreciate you guys.